Ooh, let's yes, yes. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, it's 5 o'clock. Your boy's probably gonna sit here, probably gonna stream or do this live stream for probably about I don't know, like maybe like an hour, hour and a half. Cause I'm gonna go to Five Guys burgers and fries. Y'all know what I'm saying? Hey, so we're gonna let everybody trickle in. We're gonna let everybody trickle in. See how everybody's doing. You guys let me know where you're from. If you guys don't know who I am, my name's Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. I'm a nurse, an NCLEX coach. Today we're gonna talk about the new generation NCLEX. It's here. It's official. It started on April 1st. That was not a joke. It is here. We're gonna talk about it along with any other thing. If you guys know anybody that needs coaching or if they're a nursing student about to graduate, if you've taken your exam multiple times, doesn't matter. Make sure you guys check out thebootnurse.com. And I do a free 30-minute session that's on over there. Working on what am I working on? I'm working on a bunch of stuff, but one big thing that I'm working on right now is a mini course. Working on a mini course, and that should be ready and live here within the next couple of weeks. But as my mentor says, you better get it out now, and you better make sure that people are using it. So, hey, I want to make sure y'all smash that like button. I want to see all them hearts going up on the right-hand side. But I also want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. Let us discuss. I saw you in the John Wick movie. Hey, first of all, I ain't even seen that John Wick movie yet. So if you're trying to clown, hey, good job, because I haven't seen it yet. So I heard it was pretty good, but I heard it was like 3 hours long. So, yeah, you know. So anyways, but yeah. We're going to be talking about the new generation NCLEX and the things that you guys need to know about it and all that good stuff. No, it's true. Hey, look, if I'm in the new John Wick movie, I'm going to need these people to pay me and stop playing these games. You understand? They better start paying me. It happened it happened the NCLEX this week before the new gen. So I'm assuming is it Josie Chavez? You said that you took your NCLEX last week before it changed. Hey, oh, you passed. Hey, congratulations to you. Hey, everybody go over there and show her some love. Hey, is it Yossi Chavez? Hey, if I'm saying it wrong, hey, I will correct myself later. Or you can correct me now, whichever you want. So, congratulations to you. Welcome to the shit show. I mean, welcome to nursing. Welcome to nursing, all right? So, like I said, I want to know where you got... Oh, I'm saying it right? Wait, which one? Is it Yossi or is it Josie? Josie with a J. You gotta let me know. You gotta let me know what's up right now. So, but once again, congratulations to you. Like I said, I want to know where you guys are from, where you guys are at in your nursing journey. Oh, Josie. All right, cool. Bet. All right, Josie. Hey, once again, congratulations to you. I'm all about giving people their flowers because studying for that exam, it doesn't matter if it's the old version or you're in your, new version, NGN bound. Doesn't matter. It takes a lot of tenacity and a lot of studying and a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice to get ready for this exam. And I know that everybody is going to be prepared and everybody's going to kill it. Okay. So any questions you guys have about the new generation NCLEX, we're going to be talking about it. I'm from New York, retired. Hey, good job. Good job. I'm sorry. Hey, shout out to you for being retired. How long is that, Evelyn? Hey, how long were you a nurse? Let us know down in the comments how long you were a nurse. I took mine on March 30th and passed. Hey, at the skin of your teeth. By the skin of your teeth, I mean at the last day. So congratulations to you. Is that Miss Amanda B? Everybody should show Miss Amanda B some love. We're all about showing the love and spreading the love here for everybody trying to pass that NCLEX. 48 years in nursing. Evelyn, am I reading that right? 48 years in nursing. Let us know. All right. Wow, like that. Wow. Hey, that's a long time. And I thought my 15 years in the Navy were. Wow, that's a lot. Well, hey, I commend you for 48 years of nursing because, like I said, I've been in the Navy for 15, and I thought I was already just down, But you racking it out at 48 years. Hey, shout out to you. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the new generation NCLEX. So the first thing I want you guys to realize is that with the new generation NCLEX, not a lot of things have changed. The biggest thing that changed about the NCLEX is how the questions were being delivered to you. So I'll give you an example. Like obviously the questions, they used to be like select all that. I mean, there's still select all that apply, but it was select all that apply, multiple choice, click and drag, listening to some audios and stuff like that. But they have now incorporated case studies. And with those case studies, it's a big paragraph. And they're giving you all the signs and symptoms, your patient's sample history, anything that you could possibly know about a patient once they came into an emergency room or once you got shift report from a nurse or anything like that. And then they also provide, like labs. They also provide the vital signs. They also provide any statement made by a family member or any type of history that you may have gotten from that patient. And then they want to make sure that based off of the paragraph, hey, first thing is, highlight the most important things. So one of the portions of it is highlight what's important. Some of the biggest things that are important, of course, their age, their history of having that issue before, vital signs, huge, right? Signs and symptoms, like what do they look like? What have they said to you, right? So those are the things that you guys have to look out for. It does. Evelyn, I see your question. Well, nursing does do a lot on the body. That's why we always tell everybody, hey, make sure you guys are using proper ergonomics. Make sure you guys are using your legs and to lift and not your back, because you got to preserve that back, or else you're going to end up hunched over, and we don't want nobody having back problems. Look, your boy already got back problems, not from nursing, but nursing just kind of just makes it exacerbates it, right? So make sure you guys are preserving and taking care of that back. So case studies, big one that is being implemented. So make sure that you guys are understanding what is happening when you guys are answering such questions that are like in a paragraph or in a case study form. Let me see who's texting me. I don't know who texted me. Nobody. Okay. So like I said, so that's one thing. Hey, if you guys are new here, I appreciate you guys being here. My name is Kevin. I also go by the Boot Nurse. You guys can check me out on all those other social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, of course. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I'm on all those platforms. I'm super active on Instagram and on TikTok. So if you guys want to talk to me over there, you know where to find me. I'm a nurse, an NCLEX coach. We're talking about the NGN, or the new generation NCLEX. The new generation NCLEX it's changing the game because nursing is evolving. Like, gone are the days where, you just kind of have to just go and just do specific things, like they want nurses to be able to critically think. That is exactly why this exam has changed. Somebody sent me a rose. Oh, shout out. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the rose. You're retired. I got another retired nurse up in here. That's what I'm talking about. How many years? Is it Lourdes Williams? I hope I'm saying that right. So like I said, that's the biggest thing that's changing in regards to the exam is like they want to know, can you critically think? Hindsight is 2020. If you guys don't know my story, you guys can go check it out on YouTube. I also put it on, I think I put it on Instagram as well, but I failed my exam 3 times and it all was because it just didn't make sense to me. And after I finally passed my exam, hindsight's 2020, I was like, man, I can't believe I made that exam as hard as I did. So, it's all about being able to critically think. Is it Vixen? I'm just going to call you Marie because that's all I see. You take it on April 25th and you're a little nervous. It's okay for you to be nervous. It is a very normal feeling for you to be nervous about this exam, especially if you've never taken it before. You have no idea what to expect or what even the test center looks like. So the best thing I would always say to you is to try to relieve your nerve is to recreate the testing center. You may not know what it looks like, but there's tons of videos that are out there to recreate a testing center. So such as, not having your phone near you when you're taking an exam, no food, no drinks, quiet area, putting your phone like in a different room. When you're taking your exam, it's on not having it on tutor mode, like having it on like exam mode. What's some other things that we could talk about? When you take a break from your exam, don't pause your exam. Just leave it there. Let the time run down, because when you go take your actual exam and you want to take a break, you can log out of your exam, but the time is still going to go. So if you're at 2 hours and you want to go take a 30-minute break, you're going to come back. 30 minutes is going to have elapsed from your exam. Okay. So that's why I'm always saying, like, practice like you play. That way you can be as prepared as possible when you go and sit for that exam. 25 years. I started from the Navy and I continue. Hey, shout out to any of my vets in here. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all. I'm only at 15. I feel like I'm only at 15 years in the Navy, right? And all 15 years I've been as a hospital corpsman. And the majority of those have been as a Navy instructor as well as a Navy surgical tech. So that's just a little bit about me. I talk about that on my Instagram as well. And you guys can see that on my YouTube. You guys go over there and check that out. Hey, make sure y'all go over there and check those things out. Y'all, hey, shout out. Hey, make sure y'all go over there. All right. I'm in school for nursing right now. Who is that? Who is Mona? Mona, you're in nursing school right now. Hey, it's only going to get better from here. And by better, I mean, it's just nursing school is an endurance race. All right. So, how well can, like I tell people all the time is it's an endurance race. How well can you prepare yourself for it? The better prepared that you are for nursing school, the easier it'll be. Okay. So, hey, you're going to rock it. I mean, like I say, you got tons of support. I'm one of those people who pushes a really good support system. When it comes to nursing students, anything. I am not a bedside person that says, hey, you need to go bedside. I'm not for it. However, depending on what you're trying to do with your nursing career, i.e. if you want to go CRNA or if you want to do nurse practitioner, then bedside is where you need to be in order to get those skills to get to that portion of nursing. But nursing has expanded tremendously. It has expanded tremendously to where everybody wants nurses for everything. Public health, community health, medical devices companies, insurance companies. You can go be a nurse on a cruise ship, even though that's still like patient care. But you can go be a nurse on a cruise ship. You can travel, be a travel nurse. You can be an international travel nurse. The military always needs nurses. You can go you can go work for NASA and be a space nurse, a NASA nurse. A space NASA nurse, a SMASTA nurse, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So there's so many opportunities that you can do out here as being a nurse. I promise you. You can be a legal nurse. A lot of the nurses now, especially the females, want to get into aesthetics. They want to do lip fillers or the lip injections and the fillers and stuff like that. Obviously, we can see that I don't have a problem with lips. So I'm just saying. But yeah, so there's tons and tons of opportunities out here for nurses now. It's not just bedside. LVN for 10 years, failed NCLEX twice. For RN, you are so right when it comes to not taking a break. I'm saying, like, seriously, like, you need to when you are preparing for this exam, that's what happens. Like, if you take a break, then your test is still going to go. All right. So you got to realize on you got to practice like you play. Okay. I was told we will be given a whiteboard and Sharpie to write information. I write a lot to process. That is correct. They will give you a whiteboard. I don't think it's a Sharpie, but it's like a dry erase or whatever, but you can't erase on your exam. So that's a good point that you bring up, Marie, is they'll give you a whiteboard. They'll give you a Sharpie or something along those lines, but you can't erase. If you fill it up front and back, you have to raise your hand and ask for another one, because when you're sitting in an exam, there's cameras that are pointed at like every seat. So if it looks like you're erasing, they're going to assume something. Little do people know is like when you start erasing and you start talking to yourself or anything like that, like those are things that put your exam on hold. All right. Think about that. Like people are like, why am I on hold? They're like, okay, well, think about that. Like, were you erasing? Were you doing way too much movement? And the camera was like, hey, that person is over there spazzing out. Like, what's happening? Right. So think about those things. And yes, you do get a whiteboard to where you can write, and it's okay. Like you can data dump, like, as soon as you sit down and they say that you can write, start writing stuff down, like whatever little ditties that you remember. Like for me, it's just like, what type of medication is good for, bowel sterilization? Like who can sterilize my bowel? Hey, if you know the answer, go ahead and write it down at the bottom. Go ahead and leave it in the comments and write it down and tell me. Yes, you can. You can work in Saudi Arabia. So as a nurse, you can do an international travel contract and you can go work in the United Arab Emirates, and you can go to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, all those places. And little do you know, I believe you have to do at least a year contract, and all that money is tax free. Okay, so all that money's tax-free. That's just something to think about. For all my brand new nurses, if that's something that you're thinking about working as a nurse, you got to make sure you got to get down the basics first. So if you're trying to be an ICU nurse, get down the basics before you go to another country and try to do that as well. Okay, makes it that much easier for you. I want to go into mental health and public health. Okay, who is that? Vaughn Slays. Hey, you can do that. There's a guy that I just coached recently. He's an LPN. He wants to go and be a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I was like, cool, go get your RN. And then once you get your RN, follow the track to mental health. All right. And then once you follow the track to mental health, like you'll be able to get there. So you can do both. Like you can get, you can have your bachelor's degree, work in psych, and then get a master's degree in public health. So one of the nurses I used to work with, she's a mentor of mine. She is an OR nurse, but she has her master's degree in public health. She loves everything about public health. She likes to research. She likes to write. She's a weirdo. But so there's that. You can't erase. You are correct. You cannot erase. My finger. Just kidding. Oh, who can sterilize your finger? Ew. Oh, are you talking about like with an enema? I don't know how that works. But anyways, if you don't know how that little ditty goes for who can sterilize my bowel, it goes neocan. So neomycin, kanamycin. So those are used for like bowel sterilization. Per Mark Klimick, even though those videos and those audios, not videos, are extremely old. So just know that, hey, there's those little ditties out there. And if you remember them, write them down. You can't get knocked for it. Okay. And obviously you don't have your phone. You don't have a watch on. Like if you have a smartwatch, you have to take it off. So stuff like that. Yeah, but what other question you guys got? Like I said, if you guys just joined me, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. We're talking about the new generation NCLEX and just nursing stuff in general. So, and if you guys know of anybody that needs help with NCLEX or needs coaching, I don't care if you failed the exam multiple times, if it's your first time taking it, or if you're a nursing student still in school, getting ready to prepare to take it, a few months from now, check me out at thebootnurse.com. I got a lot of stuff that's coming up. I'm making a mini course. I'm also going to start doing webinars, so I'll start dropping those links. I'm going to keep doing these Instagram and these TikTok lives. I'm not on Instagram right now. I'm only on TikTok. But, yeah, so I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to be out here a little bit more. My son's birthday was last week, and then we did his birthday party on Saturday, and I had family come in, and it just got really, really hectic. So I didn't get to, live stream like I wanted to, because I got told I got to go hang out with family instead of coming hang out with y'all. So I guess I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a really good time. And, he turned 1 and he had a good time because he opened up the presents, and the only thing he cared about was the paper, like most 1-year-olds do. Right. So, but yeah, that's kind of what happened to me this weekend. I want to know where you guys are at in your nursing journey. Are you a nursing student? Are you a nurse? Have you been in the nursing field for a long time? There's a couple of people in here, been a nurse 48 years, y'all. I'm 35, 48 years. And she out there retired and now watching what's happening to our field that we are currently in. No Florida nurses. Wow. Hey, there are a lot of nurses that are in here that are from Florida that went the right way. So not everybody is the hashtag fake nurse. Okay. Don't be that. Don't be like that. Any tips for second guessing yourself and changing your answers? Do not. Who is that? 444. Is that the Jay-Z album? Oh, 44 Nat. Okay. Do not. So the one thing that I've always heard, and I always preach this to everybody, if you don't know, don't pick it. Okay. Like if you cannot 100% tell me why you're trying to pick that or why you're trying to change your answer, don't you dare change it. Like if you cannot 100% without a doubt, I want you to think about it. Me, my annoying, very assertive self behind you, whispering in your ear, saying, hey, Nat, is that the right answer? And you tell me, I don't know. And I'm like, you better not push that damn button. You better not. Don't push that button because you don't know. Like, unless you can 100% tell me like, hey, oh, well, this does this, this does this, this does this. So this makes the more logical answer. I'm like, are you sure? Yes. Okay, change it. But if you're over here stuttering over your words, I'm like, no, I don't know what you're changing it for. So leave it there. So my tip for second guessing yourself and changing your answers is to not, because 9 times out of 10, the first answer that you pick is the correct answer. Hope that answers your question. Starting LPN program in July. Congratulations to you. Shout out to everybody that's in here that is applying to go to nursing school, because people that have never walked the line that you are trying to walk will never experience how hard it was to get into a school. They don't realize the application process. They don't realize the selection process. They don't realize, the prerequisites. They don't realize that, you have to do volunteer work. You have to give up your free time for other people. Like, they don't realize that. So anybody that gets into nursing school, it doesn't matter if it's LPN, LVN, or if it's RN, it's still a hard road. And this, and what's even harder is the endurance of getting through school. Okay. So shout out to you, Butterfly, for getting into your LPN program. I know you're going to get out there. I know you're going to rock it. Nat, what are you crying for? Why are you crying, Nat? Let us know what's up. LPN for 9 years, currently an ADN program in my 4th term. How many terms is that total? Is that like your end term? Some people are like, hey, I'm in my 7th term. It depends, But regardless, LPN 9 years, nurse, going for your RN, still a nurse, with just more responsibilities. So shout out to you for getting through the endurance race. It's literally so hard. It's been 4 years in the making. You know how long it took me to get into nursing school? My whole nursing journey started in 2012. The moment I said I wanted to be a nurse. And then they sent me to Afghanistan right after that. Like, I said, man, I want to be a nurse. And then they were just like, hey, you're going on a deployment. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was gone for a whole year. But the whole time I still wanted to be a nurse. So from 2013, or we'll say 2012, all the way to 2018 from 2012 all the way to 2020 is my nursing journey. Deployment prerequisites, finishing those, getting into nursing school, finishing nursing school, failing my NCLEX 3 times, passing on the 4th, then working, right? All that was an 8-year journey, right? It's an 8-year journey. Everybody's journey is going to relatively be different, but that's the glorious thing. I could sit here and I could tell you, hey, in 2012, this is what I started, and look at where I'm at now, because I've literally had people flat out say, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it. I'm just like, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, sis? I don't say sis. I call everybody bro. Not on purpose. I tell my kids, don't call me bro, because I'm not your damn bro. But anyways, so what I'm saying is that everybody's journey is different. And one thing I'm going to tell you is to enjoy the journey and enjoy the process of getting there, because there's nothing better than you coming up to me and being like, Kevin, it took me 7 years to get here. And I'm going to be like, hey, that's what the I'm talking about, because I respect the journey and I respect the process, and so should you. So that's where it is for me. It took you 4 years to get there. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting it. If nobody's ever told you that, you don't even know me, and I'm proud of you for getting there. All right. So it took you 4 years in the making to get there. Now you got to push. And then years from now, you're going to be like, hey, this is what I did. All right. Total of 5. Okay. Shout out to, so you're in the 4th term with 5. Okay. So you got 1 left. Hey, you almost there. You almost there, Nicole. You almost there. It's been 7 years. Still didn't pass the NCLEX. Okay. So my question is, what are we going to do about it? Who is it? It's Melon 31. So you didn't pass your NCLEX. It's been 7 years. So what are you going to do about it? Don't be scared of this exam, because I really want everybody to take a look at yourself, audit yourself. Everybody knows what an audit is, right? Everybody's scared when the IRS come in to audit them, but nobody wants to audit themselves, right? So one thing I'll say is when you audit yourself, look at what you are not doing, right? People are scared of this NCLEX. If the NCLEX is the worst thing to happen to you today, I think that's okay. And I say this because I've been to different countries, and I've seen where people have to journey to different spots to get water, or don't have food, or have to live in a war-stricken country, for resources where people are fighting for control. I've been there. I've seen it. So think about that. I really want you to take a sit. I really want you to lean back and be like, like, if this is the worst thing that happened to me, I think I'm okay with that. And it's part of the process to chase greatness. I promise you, it's part of the process to chase greatness. Okay. So even though it's been 7 years and you still haven't passed, now it's like, if you really want this dream to come true, what goals are you going to put in place so your dream becomes a reality rather than it being just a wish? You guys ever heard that term? A dream without goals is just a wish. Like, if you don't have stuff written down, and if you're not trying to get to where you're trying to get, how are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? So the one thing I'm going to tell you is that it may have been 7 years. Keep going. Keep going. Because if it's really your dream and it's really what you want it to be, it will be so. But you have to put in the work. All right. Travel Nurse G. Damn. Yep. That's crazy. I almost forgot. I'm not the only one climbing the mountain. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, once you climb, like, think about it when you climb. Did y'all know, like, in order to get, like, the summit of Mount Everest is, like, at 14,000 feet? Did y'all know that? And there are a lot of people who are just like, oh, that's where it begins. Like, you don't just end up at the summit. They have multiple summits. And then you got to climb that mountain. Think about it, that's how your NCLEX is. There's multiple summits. Everybody starts in a different spot. You can go here, you can go here, you can go here. Right? And then once you conquer that mountain of passing NCLEX, you think that's where it stops? Oh, Lord of mercy. Hey, all my seasoned nurses in here, y'all better let them know. LPNs, RNs, y'all better let them know that when you climb that mountain, guess what's going to be in the distance? Even higher mountains. Even mountains that you can't even fathom. Like, bro, how am I going to get up there? Especially if you're trying to go CRNA, if you're trying to accomplish those NP routes, if you're trying to, get your PhD, if you're trying to really climb and get to the mountain, like, that journey is an arduous one. It's an arduous one. All right. Everybody climbing the mountain. Everybody. So keep climbing. Learn Travel Nurse G, just learn the nursing technique. Well, you can't just say just learn the nursing. You can't just say just learn the testing techniques. Everybody learns differently. Like, are you a read write? Are you auditory? Are you kinesthetic? Are you a visual learner? Are you a combination of one or all of them? It all just depends. So you really have to think about, okay, what are the test strategies, but what works best for me on how I retain knowledge? That's what you guys have to think about. Okay. One thing about me is that I've been an instructor, a Navy instructor for since 2015. So that puts me at 8 years now. So I learned a lot about how to reevaluate programs and curriculums. And I'm also a master instructor in the military as well. So you have to really think about how do you learn? What environmental factors do you have? Do you have a good support system? Like, what don't you understand? And now that the NCLEX has changed visually, like, what is it about it that you need help? Do you need help breaking down the questions? Do you have a content deficit? I talk about all that when I talk about in my coaching as well. Okay. So learning the test strategies. Yes, you learn the test strategies. However, you have to figure out where it is that you have a deficit, as well as how well you retain knowledge and what model you use to retain that knowledge as well. So I would definitely agree with that. Let's see. I took on Friday, failed again, the 7th time. I actually thought I was going to pass. I got 121. So who is this? Mary Thomas. So I'll give you a quick little overview. As a matter of fact, everybody, I don't care if you failed or not, I want you guys to go to my YouTube, The Boot Nurse, and I want you guys to find that NCLEX. I want you to find that video. It says, I failed NCLEX. And I talk about how I failed the NCLEX 3 times. And I talked about my last time I failed the NCLEX, I got 106 questions, and I felt that exact same way, where I was just like, okay, I felt really good. I felt I was more prepared, same thing. And then I failed at 106 questions. And then I'm like, bro, like, why? Like, what is it that I'm not getting? Right. And so this is where I say you still have to audit yourself. Like, what weren't you doing? I got into a conversation with a young lady who told me the same. She kept making excuses. She was just like, well, I guess. Here's the thing. There is no I guess. There's something that you are not getting. And until you admit that you have a problem, you will never get to your solution, which is passing this exam. Okay. This exam is just one small, and I mean a very, very small piece of the nursing puzzle. It's a very basic, I need to know, or they need to know, can you be a safe nurse? Right? The one thing I'll say is when you get your breakdown, even though you failed for the 7th time, I want you to line them all up next to each other. And then I need for you to look at them to see, like, hey, where did I have a deficit at? What didn't I understand? Okay, now I can go back to the drawing board. I have coached people who have failed 9 times, 10 times. There's a young lady I actually coached who failed 7 times and passed on her 8th. I put her video up. She's also on my TikTok and on my Instagram. You can go listen to her testimony as well. And like, now she's a nurse, and now she's in a master's program for nursing leadership, and she's actually going to have her master's sometime next month. You see what I'm saying? So even though you were unsuccessful, what are you going to do about it? And I can tell you right now, I'll put it this way. In nursing, no nurse will ask you, no job will ask you, how many times did you take that exam? Unless you openly say, hey, I failed my exam like 9 times. You know what I mean? No one is ever going to ask you that. You want to know why? It's because it's not relevant. Me, I knew that I needed to tell people that I failed because I wanted to let everyone know that it is okay if you don't pass that exam, because that exam ain't going nowhere. I can go back to the drawing board and I can learn it, and then I could go back at it again. That's exactly why. It is my purpose to let everybody know that you are not a failure if you go back to the drawing board and you improve upon your test before. Now, I only consider you a failure if you're just like, well, fuck this test. I guess it wasn't meant to be. So you mean to tell me you're just going to quit after one try? So what if we're doing a round of CPR? You do one round of CPR, right? And you're like, oh, well, guess he's not breathing. Let's just call it. You're just going to give up on, you're going to give up on your patient? You're going to give up on yourself like that? How bad do you want it? If you quit on the first time, I'm going to tell you to your face. They'll be like, I want this. And I'm going to be like, not bad enough. You're going to quit on me? I hope not. I hope not. So, Mary, you failed at 121. It's okay. It's okay. You're in a safe space to tell people that. You're okay. Now, Mary, what you about to do? I'm just saying. I'm going to go back. I see a bunch of people. Yes. I had no plan B. You had no plan B? Let me tell you something right now. Who is this? Travel Nurse G? I had no plan B. You always have to have a plan. Always. I'm one of those people. I have plan A through Z. And then if I go to an alien alphabet, I'll have that plan glurk through blit or whatever their alphabet is. All right. I'm always like that. I have fallbacks, but I don't use those fallbacks. I'm like, all right, cool. If I can't do this, I'm going to do this. Nope, there is none of that. But I do know I have the option to do that if there was an emergency. Okay. So you have no plan B. You better get a plan A through Z. That's what I tell everybody. Not just you, but I tell everybody that. I'm trying to focus. Who is this? Remy Ma. Is that Remy Ma? I'm trying to stay focused and motivated. I only have 3 weeks left of RN school. Let me tell you something right now. Finish line is right here. Finish line is right here. And here you are. You better run because graduation right here. This is the NCLEX. And so I expect for you to run all the way through it, right? You stop before the finish line, somebody going to pass you. We don't want that. You have to climb to get to the, hey, that's facts. I agree. Butterfly, I agree. Like you do have to climb to get to the bottom because you're going to climb a mountain to end up at another summit. You're going to be like, well, here we are. Here we are again. It's just the beginning. I agree 100%. Sorry to hear that. Mary, you're going to do fine. Hello. Who's that? Oh, that's Narissa. Narissa? Wait, where's Narissa? Hold up. I don't know if you said anything yet. Narissa, let everybody know what's up. Let everybody know what happened. Tell them right now. Because you told me. Let them know what happened, Narissa. I read for NCLEX takers, and all I can say is please stop reading into the questions. Answers what asked. Ella, I think I understand what you're saying. I help. What is it like? I need help passing LPN. Who is that? Popping melanin. Hey, if you need help. Hey, so here's my statement right now. My name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. Right now, we're talking about the new generation NCLEX, but we're also talking about other things. Motivation. If you failed, I don't care. You got to keep pushing. You got to audit yourself. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. If you or anybody else you know taking your NCLEX for the first time, NCLEX multiple times, or if you're a nursing student about to graduate nursing school and need help with NCLEX, check out thebootnurse.com. I do a 30-minute consultation. Those fill up fast. I only offer one slot per day because the other slots are offered for the people that are in my coaching. Okay. So I also want you guys to think about that. But then I'm telling you guys right now in this live that coaching, the free coaching is going to go away at some point. Just letting y'all know. Don't know when, but when it happens, I'll let y'all know. But at some point, it's going to go away. So I really want everybody to take advantage of that. Also, I'm creating a mini course and I call it The Basics. I have a mini course and it's going to be out here soon, and it's called The Basics. So we're going to talk about time management. We're going to talk about test-taking strategies. We're going to talk about a support system. We're going to talk about how to break down NCLEX style questions. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But until then, I need for y'all to keep pushing. I need for y'all to keep coming to these lives and getting all this information, finding all this information that's floating out there in the ether. Okay. And I need for you guys to capitalize on it. And I need for you guys to be nurses. I need for y'all to come out here in this shit show with me and come out here and hang out. All right. Because it's a good time. It's a good time. And it's a very rewarding and prestigious, position to be a nurse. I kid you not. It's a good one. Okay. And it can get you far. And I don't know if you guys follow Whole Life Nurse. She's on Instagram. But I'm going to write a book and I'm going to quote her in it. I kid you not. But she says you are the CEO of your license. I don't think LPNs and RNs that are working on bedside or even nursing students that are trying to get there. I don't think y'all realize how much power that nursing license has. I don't think you realize. You have no idea. There's people out here that got mobile IV therapy. Like one of my buddies has a mobile IV therapy business out in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? One of my friends is a cardiac nurse practitioner and works in the hospital. Loves it. Another one, she works with a private group, as a pulmonary acute care nurse practitioner, and she loves it. Right? I'm actually probably going to bring her on the live. She's a wild one, let me tell you. But I'm telling you, there's so many opportunities out here. So many opportunities. So if you need to pass, y'all know where to find me. Let's see. There is only one, Remy Ma. That's right. I always tell myself that there are other black women in the spaces who need me. That's facts. That's facts. I don't ever want to make this a race thing, but that is facts. There are a lot of disparities for people of color, not just black people, Hispanic. I live in a very Hispanic driven and Hispanic heavy population. I live in San Antonio, where the primary language is Spanish. And, a lot of the people that we get are on the rougher side of the town, and the level of education that they have is just it's not there. So, and some people do treat them differently. So, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a race thing, but these are the realities and the times that we live in. So, yes, you're right. There are people out there that look like you that do need you. I promise you that. So, shout out to you, Butterfly. I tell them, you tell them the 30-minute coaching for you truly helped me. Thank you. All right. So Narissa hasn't said, oh, there she goes. She passed her NCLEX, y'all. So Narissa reached out to me. We talked for a little bit. She told me, she was just like, hey, I'm really nervous. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I take it here. I gave her a couple of tips, and she passed her NCLEX first try. And she let me know on Instagram a couple of days. I think it was Saturday or Sunday or something like that. And so congratulations to her. So everybody see Narissa, I want y'all to give her a good shout out and all that good stuff. Because, hey, we all know that this exam is a toughie, right? And she made it through. So congratulations to you. I need help with the NACE LP into RN testing. I'm assuming that's the exam. I'm assuming that's an exam that is used to get into the program. I don't necessarily do the NACE. However, I can recommend some good books. I'll find those books and I'll drop those in here. What a great service. I agree. It is a great service. Like I said, there's other things that I'm going to be dropping in here as well I created the coaching is because I never want no one to feel how I felt. I never want anybody to feel like lost. I never want anybody to feel like they're a failure, because you're not. I'm making the mini courses because I'm teaching y'all exactly what was taught to me, and then eventually I'm going to make a bigger course because I want everybody to know y'all can make it out here. And what better way to tell y'all than somebody who went through the struggles of not passing this exam? Come on now. So, but yes, congratulations to Narissa. You're welcome. Absolutely. That's hard. You're the CEO of your license. Want to open up a birthing center. That's what I'm talking about. Like one of the girls I know, she was an ICU nurse for about 2 or 3 years, went over to aesthetics. Now she's getting her certification in aesthetics, and she wants to be a nurse practitioner and open up her own aesthetic, clinic. Y'all just don't realize. So another one of my buddies who we worked in the ICU together, he now works for Impella, and Impella, they're the ones that send the wire up all the way up to the heart. for different type of procedures and stuff like that. So he's actually a sales rep for them, because he always says hearts and hemodynamics is his jam. And he's not lying. He loves hearts. He loves hearts. And so he doesn't even work bedside anymore. All he does is go around teaching people how to use an Impella. It's awesome. And he probably makes $40,000 more than he makes as a bedside nurse. Come on now. Stop playing games with me. My mom called me the black baby. My mom called me the black baby boomer. Ha ha ha. Those mortality rates scare me. You're right. The mortality rates are, they are high, especially in specific areas. Like if you're in those low poverty areas, they're very, very high. They are. Please don't make it a race thing. Nursing is a job. I not saying, first of all, I wasn't not making it a race thing. It should not be a race thing. However, we will not be naive to the fact that race does play a part in how people have been taken care of. The biggest thing that I like to tell people is change that narrative. You have to change that narrative. When we start getting an older population of people in, like people that are, African American or Hispanic that are in their 60s or their 60s and 70s and 80s, they think differently than we do as the younger generation. So it's our job to change that narrative. I literally had a white guy, I kid you not, tell me he didn't want an N-word taking care of him. And I looked at him, I was like, whoa. I was like, hey, sir. I was just like, you kiss your mom with that mouth? And he was just like, I just don't want you in here. And I was just like, okay, sir, if you didn't want me in here, you could have just told me that. And he was just like, well, I don't want you in here. And I was just like, okay, are you firing me? I was like, because I'll go take care of somebody else. And he was just like, well, no, I ain't firing you. I just don't want you in here. And I was just like, okay. And then I came back. I was like, hey, sir, so you have one or two choices. I can either take care of you or no one's going to take care of you because we're kind of short on nurses right now. And turns out that, he came. I can't say I can make the excuse that he came from a different era, but the fact that he came from a different era, he grew up around. Remember, these things, racism isn't. You're not born with it. You're taught it. So it was a very nasty trait that he was taught. But based off of the service and the care that I gave him, you can see he was kind of relaxing, and it kind of changed his thought process. And you got to think, though, there's a lot of things we care about when we're healthy. There's only one thing we care about when we're sick, and it's to not be sick. Think about that. Okay. So I don't dismiss that man's remarks. However, I'm not going to let somebody who knows nothing about me allow for me to come out of my frame because of what I look like. I know where I come from. I know who I am. And so everybody else needs to recognize that as well and be a good servant to the people to help them change the narrative. Some people are going to agree with that statement. Some people aren't. And that's okay. That is your prerogative. But that is just how my dad has taught me. And I instill that in my boys as well. And I'm just like, hey, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. Look at the infant mortality rate. It's crazy. Hooray. As bad as nurses are needed in this country, they need more nursing schools, more affordable. 100%. I agree with you. 100%. Nursing schools are not affordable, especially if you live in California. They out here trying to charge $160K for a 2-year school. Like, what y'all think I'm made of? Money? Hello, what study books suggested for LPN exam? As in, like the LPN exam for like the NCLEX or the LPN exam, like trying to get into school? Like, which one you mean? That one is from Anya. Anya, I think I said that right. I have been wanting to be a nurse for so long. And Queen, if you want to be a nurse, it shall be so. Queen, it was not you. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I guess I just went off on a tangent then, but I definitely wanted to make that clear. I just passed my NCLEX. Who is that? Is it Elja? I hope I said that name right. Elja. Shout out to you for passing your NCLEX. We're all about safe space here. We're all about you coming to the shit show and coming to hang out as being an RN or LPN. So shout out to you. Everybody show her some love. Tell her congratulations because it's hard out here. That exam is not a joke. That exam, like the NCLEX is actually, I think, harder for people to pass than the actual MCAT is, or MCAT or like the medical board. So y'all need to recognize where that exam sits on the hierarchy table. I need for y'all to know. All right. Why are there many abusive Africans in the nursing homes? What do you mean? Queen, I want you to elaborate on that for me. My daughter graduates in May. Beach Life. Hey, shout out to your daughter for graduating because we know it's hard out here. To me, nursing school was harder than taking the exam because it's all an endurance race. It's all endurance. So you got the lung capacity. You've been training for it. Hope so. So shout out to her for making it through. Any suggestions for study material to help pass the LPN exam? Okay, Anya, which one? I'm assuming you mean the LPN NCLEX exam, right? You definitely agree. Awesome. If anyone needs material, inbox me or email me. I went through those notes the night before. Okay, good. Oh, by the way, Narissa is not a spammer. By the way, she is not a spammer. So if you guys see people coming into live that are saying like, hey, jump into my inbox and I'll start emailing you stuff or a WhatsApp number, please do not send these people money because they are scammers. They cannot get you leaked questions. They cannot help you on your exam. I literally had somebody tell me, hey, I got scammed. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry that you got scammed. Like, that's unfortunate. And then when I told her what about the coaching and everything that it entailed, she was just like, oh, that's too expensive. So hindsight is 2020. I really want you to think about this. So you'd rather pay somebody $1,000, $1,500, $5,000 for them to steal it from you rather than me do a one-on-one with you that is a fraction of that. But you were willing to pay to cut corners. Y'all better stop playing with me, yo. Y'all better stop playing. As a matter of fact, I want 2,000 likes right now. Y'all better stop playing with me, all right? So like Narissa is not a spammer. What does that say? Hello. I also live in California. It's because the CC and unis are packed. Hold on 1 second. I hear my son crying in here. Oh, he good. His mama got him. Hello. Okay, yeah. So CC and critical care and units are impacted. Oh yeah. And that's another thing is like all these nursing schools that were popping up. I call them like they were pill mills or pop-up shops. Like they'll be there for like a year and the next, poof, they're gone. Somebody I was coaching recently had that happen. I was just like, so what did your school provide? And they were just like nothing. Like as an NCLEX review, usually it's like ATI or some people use Kaplan or some people use Hearst. Some people use, I know like some schools have like, not Simple Nursing. What's the other one? Nursing.com or whatever. Right. And she was like, I had nothing. And I was like, where's your school at? They're gone. I was just like, well, ain't that some shit? So now you got through nursing school. And now it's just like when you try to look back to try to get something from them, you can't even get it because they're now disappeared. And they charge you an arm and a leg because people are so desperate to get into nursing school. And so one thing I want you guys to realize is that your dream can be obtained, but it doesn't necessarily have to be where you live. There's someone else, another young lady who reached out. Oh no, she was on the live and she was the one who said that her community college didn't accept her. So she had to drive to Orlando to go to one of the schools that are there because they accepted her. And I was like, if that's what you have to do for you to achieve that dream, who am I to tell you no? And it was cheap. How is it cheaper for her to go to that school, but it was more expensive for her to go to the community college that denied her? I don't know, man. Make that make sense. I'm sick to say I'm paying too much for LPN school. You probably are. But you know what? Money is money. We have an emotional attachment to money. And until you realize that, money is the most replenishable thing on this planet. Honestly, it won't even bother you because look, let's just say you spent like 80 grand or 100 grand for you to go to LPN school. Be an LPN for a year or two and then go take a travel assignment as an LPN and then make 100 grand and 120 grand as an LPN within your first year. Come on, butterfly, stop playing with me. You know what's up. Yes, nursing school was definitely harder than the exam. I passed my LPN. Hey, shout out to you because you did just say that you passed. I've been in nursing homes because of knee replacement and sepsis. They were so disrespectful to continue. Yes, that was my son, and he's 1 and he's walking. So I don't even know what's going on up in there. I wanted to peek my head out, but his mama got him. So he he probably hit his head because he walk in. So you already, and he does this thing where he likes to throw himself back. And I'm like, bro, that trip that you're doing is a lot longer than when you're trying to do it when you're like crawling or something. So I'm gonna need for you to kind of chill out with that. But baby's all good. He's good. I hear him in there babbling, so he's all right. And I've been in nursing homes because of knee replacements and sepsis. They were so disrespectful. I've heard that a lot about nursing homes, and it's nurses, CNAs and MAs that are all working in those nursing homes, they get burnt out. Although that's no excuses, because sometimes people forget, hey, those people that are in nursing homes live there. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. But then, some people are just like, well, who's going to take care of them? So it's like that, it's like kind of like that catch one, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So a lot of times, to invoke change, it's going to take a lot out of you. And my biggest thing is, if you're going to go and work somewhere, especially if it's in a nursing home, please do your research, because some of these nursing homes are, they treat nursing homes like a business and they don't take care of the patients. I can tell you right now that if I was to ever have to put my parents into a nursing home, ain't no way. Best believe I'm gonna be the one being like, hey, I'm gonna need for y'all to let me know what's up, or I'll be making random inspection visits to make sure that shit is done the right way. So, community college and university, oh yeah, I'm tracking. They are scamming, 100%. They are. She can get that debt removed, but it does happen. That's true. You can get that debt removed. I went to a technical college 1-year program, fast track, like we learn a lot fast. Yeah, so I did a BSN program. It was 18 months, so it was the accelerated BSN program, and that was a lot. Like I said, I live in Texas, and I went to Texas A&M in Corpus Christi, and then they have another one, UT in Arlington, that's 15 months. So, that's the fastest accelerated BSN program I've ever seen. But a lot of people like it. It gets you through. I think another one is WGU, Western Governors University, you can go to as well. One of my friends went to that. She loved it because it was pretty much self-paced. She was an LPN, got into their RN program, she knocked her RN out like super fast, and then she did pretty much all of her stuff there. So now she did her master's degree there as well. So, those are other programs if you guys are looking for. Those are there as well. I took the NCLEX right before April 1st and passed. I was not wanting to take the new GN. I don't blame you for not wanting to take it, because you've been studying and you went to school and all that other stuff. But some people didn't get it, and some people didn't get past that. So what we're talking about is that it's okay. It's okay for you to not have passed that exam. What is not okay for you to sit there, wallow in it, and let it control you, and you not go take it anymore. So I have a girl that I coach. She failed it the first time, or she failed her exam, I want to say for the fourth time. And I told her, I was just like, man, I'm really sorry that you failed your exam for the fourth time. And I was just like, I'm going to give you your 24 hours. But on hour 25, we need to get to work. And that's what we're doing. We're getting to work. You can't sit there and wallow in it, because what's going to happen? No job is going to care. No job is going to care how many times you took that exam. No job is going to care what school you went to, as long as you have a license. Hashtag not a fake license. All right. So there's that. I'm going to continue with some of these questions on here as well. If you guys are just joining me, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. I am a nurse and NCLEX coach. We're talking about the new generation NCLEX right now, as well as other things in nursing. I'm all about motivating. I'm all about dedicating. I'm all about y'all. I appreciate everybody that decided they wanted to show up here and listen to me run my mouth. If you or anybody else needs to study for the NCLEX, I don't care if you've taken it multiple times. I don't care if you were going to take it for the first time, or if you're a nursing student about to graduate and ready to take it. You guys can check out thebootnurse.com. I do a 30-minute consultation for free. Get it while it's still there, because I'm telling you right now, I have said it already once. I'm telling you right now, it is going to go away. So make sure you guys check that out, bootnurse.com. And yeah, let's get it popping. I need everybody to go over to my social medias, Instagram, TikTok. Of course, you're already here. YouTube, Twitter, all those spots, Facebook. Go over there and add me. Everything is at the Boot Nurse. Okay. And on my YouTube, I talk about how I failed my NCLEX. I talk about it. And let me tell you how liberating it is when I tell people that I failed it. And they look at me, they're like, oh my God, really? I would have quit after the first time. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I was like, quitters don't really get anywhere, but whatever. Unless you're trying to quit smoking, then you get better lungs, but whatever. Less cancer, right? So, but yeah. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about y'all. I'm all about this coaching. I've been an instructor for 8 years. I love teaching. This is the aspect of nursing that I love, which is education. I like to consider myself an educator. And if I don't know the answer, I will point you in the direction to the people that have it. All right. Now we're getting back to these questions. We're still going to talk about the new generation NCLEX, but shout out to Asia for passing her NCLEX. Shout out to you. Has anyone on here taken the new generation NCLEX? Well, that actually is a good question. Has anybody here taken it? Because today actually would be the official day that anybody would be able to take it. So I want to know if anybody's taking that exam. CNAs in nursing homes have too much work and I hate it. Hey, let me tell you, I had a friend who worked in a nursing home and she is a CNA, and it is absurd for her to tell me that she has anywhere from 40 to 60 patients. It is absurd. And then the LPN has like 40. She has 60, LPN has 40, and then you have the nurse who just sits at the desk that is doing the charting. That is insane to me. That is crazy. That's like me being in the ICU and you giving me 4 vented patients. Newsflash, that has happened to me before. So, like, that's crazy. So I always show my techs love all the time. And I'm just like, hey, I appreciate you. I worked in the ICU where I did everything. I turned, I wiped ass, I fed, I showered, you name it, bed baths. I did it all. And then the day that I got a tech, she made me feel useless. Like, what the hell? She's like, Kevin, I did this. I'm like, who are you, Angel? Right? And I ran into her today, which was just, it must have been fate that I ran into her. And she was just like, oh my God, how have you been doing? And she's been a tech or a medical assistant tech or whatever for a very, like, 20 years. She has no ambition of wanting to be a nurse or LPN or anything like that. And I'm always like, hey, go to where your heart is at. If you love doing it, stay there. If that's what you like doing, you don't have RN or LPN behind your name for you to be happy. You better stop playing with me. I'm all about being happy. So took me a long time to get there. This is years of therapy talking to y'all. Hey, y'all got me to 2K. Hey, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are the reason I thoroughly enjoy being on here because I want to talk to y'all to see what y'all are doing. At the end of my NCLEX, they had me answer 30 NGN questions for stats, and it was so confusing. Yeah, that's because those are research questions, but I can only imagine what they were going to ask now. They should be well thought out questions by this time because they've had like 5 or 6 years of just research questions getting done. Don't be scared of it. Come on, Butterfly. Don't be scared. You gonna be all right. LPN in July, you Gucci. You all right. You gonna be all right. Let's see. Let's go through. Y'all having just a full-blown conversation up in here. Let's see what else is going on. All right. Hey, I got 37 people in here. Like I said, my name is Kevin. Hey, y'all let me know where y'all are from. Let me know where y'all are from, where y'all are at in y'all's nursing journey, what y'all want to talk about. So right now we'll go right back to the new generation NCLEX. So we'll talk about, first thing we talked about were the case studies. Case studies don't need to be afraid of them. So first thing I said about case studies was like you're gonna have a portion of it where they create a question where you have to highlight. They're gonna be like, what are the important things that you need to know based off of what is in your paragraph? So you need to highlight it. So the biggest thing that you need to know: signs and symptoms, vitals, their age, have they had the issue before? There's the signs and symptoms, like what are they telling you? What can you observe? AKA, what do you see, like in their labs? What do you see, like based off of them? Do they look clammy? Are they agitated? Like, are they moving around in the bed? Like all that stuff, right? Another one is fill in the blank. Now, fill in the blank, I know people are just going to be like, oh, I don't like the fill in the blank, but it's a drop down menu. So, you hit the little arrow, drop down, and it's going to give you like three or like it's going to give you like 3 or 4 different answers to choose from. Right, and it's scattered out in the question itself. So not the case study, but like in the question, it's going to be like, hey, the first thing I would do would be drop down. It'll say give O2, lift head of bed, turn patient to right side, something along those lines. Click, and then you go to and you keep reading the sentence, and it's going to fill it in that way. right? Because remember, it's all about the continuity of critical care or critical thinking, not critical care, but critical thinking. Okay. Southern California future LPN student. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. LPN, that's what I'm talking about. So, any tips for auditory and hands-on learners? So, I'll answer that question just in 1 second. So, back to what I was saying in regards to fill in the blank is that's the second portion. Like you got the highlighted ones where what's important, and then the fill in the blank of like how the answer is as it's giving you those answers. Okay. One other thing I'll add to that is that select all that apply is still there. However, with select all that apply, it is now partial credit. So if there are 4 answers in that select all that apply, and you pick 2 of the right answers, you'll get partial credit rather than what it used to be, where is you answer it. Let's say there were 4 answers and you got 3 out of the 4, the whole question would be wrong. Okay. So think about that. So the highlighted portions, the drop down menus or the fill in the blanks, as well as the select all apply being partial credit. So I'm from New York City. I like your lives. Hey, I appreciate you. It's like love yourselves 5 or S5. I appreciate you. Hey, my grandma's from New York. She lives in Harlem. So, and she's actually here right now. She goes home tomorrow. So, she came to hang out for my son's birthday. So his first birthday, and great grandma love her some grandson. Let me tell you, great grandson. Let me tell you. Any tips for auditory and hands-on learners? So with auditory is I love podcasts. The auditory aspects is like, listening to the same thing over and over and over, and then applying it to what you're learning. So, you hear it, like most of y'all can sit there and listen to a song, recite a song. I mean, front, back to me, right? I remember in one of my videos, I use WAP as an example. Like you can tell me all the lyrics to WAP. You can tell me who's even in the music video. But the moment I start asking you about, arterial blood gases and how to do this, the Z pattern or the Z track to give an IM medication, you're just like, like, come on. So with hands-on, see it, do it. So if I'm teaching you how to do something, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the right way to do it based off literature that's being given to me on how you need to know how to do it for your exam. I'm going to show you how to do it. And then once I show you how to do it, you are then going to do it. And then you are going to do it again, and then again, and then again, until you can replicate how I did it based off of the literature that is being given for you to take your exam. And then you are going to teach that same thing to somebody else. Because as it's being taught to you, you're retaining it. As you're doing it and getting coached through it, you're retaining it. And then as you're teaching it, you are also remembering it and retaining it, because now you have somebody else who is going to mimic what you are teaching them. And that is how the effect of it being a hands-on learner is, by doing hands-on. Like in the Navy, we call it see one, do one, teach one. So you always see it, and then you do until you become proficient at it, and then you teach someone else how to do that. And then that's how that cycle goes. With auditory, I love podcasts. I love listening to it, because a lot of times I absorb stuff a lot better if I'm listening to it. So lectures, I love. Sometimes or audio lectures, I love. If they're having a visual lecture on here, I can listen to it. I can take notes. I can do everything. But the auditory is what really, really sticks. That's why I love listening to podcasts. That's why I loved Mark Klimick, because I listened to him while I was doing my drive to and from work. And I was able to retain it. So that would be my advice for auditory and hands-on learners. I hope that answers your question. Connecticut LPN student who is is it Lackey Mavis? I hope I said that right. So shout out to you for being an LPN student. Can you start again? Will this be saved? I'm assuming you're asking, am I going to save this live? Is that Mona Lisa? I'm assuming you're asking if I'm going to save this live. Let me know if that's what you're asking. That's some bull. What's bull? Baby Case 79. What's bull? Hello. I'll just ask if a laboratory information system is used in the NCLEX. Like, what do you mean, like, by laboratory information system? You like, when it comes to labs, the biggest thing that you're knowing is the basics of the basics. Like, like what are the normal lab values? Like, can you tell me about, basophils, neutrophils, eosinophils, all those? Like, can you tell me about those? So you're not really necessarily learning about the machines, if that's what you're asking. I was thinking about taping my lectures if they're not taped already. I would, if you're allowed to tape your lectures or even record them, do them, because now you have information that you could retain back to. And when it comes to doing your notes, like there's little things that you hear them say that may not be in a PowerPoint or something like that. That could be really helpful. So I would agree. Hold on. I already forgot what you asked, Mona. Oh, if I was going to save this live. So all the lives that I've done, which I think is like 6 or 7 of them, they are saved. How about this? You guys want me to put them up? I'll put them up on YouTube. If you guys want me to put them up on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up in the in the comments, and then if I get enough thumbs up, hey, then I'll drop them. I will put all of my recorded or all of my lives that I've done and Instagram. I will put them on YouTube, so that way everybody can refer to them. If that's what you guys want, you guys let me know. I take my NCLEX PN on Friday. Any advice? Don't study on Thursday. You need to relax. And by relax, I don't mean get drunk. I would get everything situated the day before. If you have kids or anything like that, I would be like, hey, I need a break. So the last day, the day before your NCLEX, don't do anything. Like, it should be a relaxation day. The day before that, you should stop studying probably, I say, around 5, 6 o'clock. If you've been preparing yourself adequately, as one of my old instructors used to tell me, if you've been preparing for months, and if you're trying to cram the day before the exam or even up to the day of exam, like if you don't know it by then, you don't know it at all. So, and remember, it's not about memorization. It's about making yourself familiar. It's about making yourself familiar about what this exam is about. Okay. So I hope that was able to help you. I take my NCLEX in 3 to 4 weeks. Awesome. So make sure if you're taking your exam 3 to 4 weeks, make sure that you are doing your 75 to 150 questions a day or every other day. Make sure you're taking breaks in between when you finish your exams. Make sure that you are reviewing and remediating those exams. Even if you got the questions right, you need to be looking over, because that is where you're able to retain and understand why you got it right and why you got it wrong. So make sure that you're doing that. And the same thing applies to you. Is the day before exam, don't study. You need to relax. Okay. Relax that mind. Even though that's a lot harder said than done. I've been there, but that's definitely a recommendation. It's to just relax. Is it a bad idea to take the NCLEX without studying if I'm scoring 99% on my ATI? I don't know. Let's think about this, Chloe. Let's think about it. Yeah. I wouldn't not study, meaning I would study. So yes, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea, because what if you stop studying? So let's just paint a picture. Let's paint a picture. You stop studying and then you fail. Then what? Then what? Now you're going to be like, I should have studied, right? And so now, do you really want to risk? And if you fail, cool, whatever. Hey, you fail, dust your shoulders off and go back to it. The whole point of taking this exam is that you do want to take it. You do want to pass it on the first time, right? But if you don't pass it on the first time, that's okay. But why risk it? Like, why risk it? Even though you're scoring 99% probability on your ATI, why risk it to not keep studying? And that's like your first place in a race, and then you start to slow down before you get to the finish line, and then here I come and I pass your ass up, and now you second place. Why do that to yourself? So think about that. If you want my hard answer, yes, it's a bad idea, and don't do it. There you go. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, cool. I guess y'all have spoken. I'll put them up on YouTube. I'll put my very first live that I did. I'll put that one up there, and then I'll do them in the order of how I've done the live. Kind of keep it in chronological order. Okay. What are some of the new things we will need for new generation or for the new NCLEX? Dre07, you must have literally just got here because I just went over 3 things. So that tells me I need to do this again. If you are new here, my name is Kevin. I am a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. We are talking about the new generation NCLEX. We have already gone over that they have added case studies, that they've added the highlighted portions of what is important that you need to know. And I also talked about the select all that apply being partial credit. And then I also talked about the fill in the blanks that are the drop down menus. That's what we talked about so far. We're going to go into some other stuff here in a second. So that's what we talked about. If you or anybody else you know needs NCLEX coaching, I don't care if you're taking the exam multiple times, it's your first time, or if you're a nursing student getting ready to graduate and ready to take it for your first time as well, you can check out thebootnurse.com. I do a free 30-minute consultation on how to help you and how to guide you a little bit. And then, of course, we talk about, if you do decide to get the coaching, because a lot of people ask, is the coaching, of course, you get 100% motivation from me. You get my phone number. We create a personalized calendar for you. We create a tracker for you. And then I guess the pièce de résistance is that you get one-on-one tutoring with me on how we break down NCLEX style questions. So we actually go over actual NCLEX style questions and we talk about them. And so kind of change your mindset on how you need to approach those questions. So that's what a lot of people ask, and that's what it entails. Although I do have it on the website as well when you look into it. Okay. So Dre, that's what we have been talking about. I went to Jamaica 2 weeks before my exam. Well, you went to Jamaica 2 weeks for your exam. Remember, not everybody is built the same, right? I did it because I knew me. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll be like, oh, I don't need to study. Okay. But then like after like 2 days of not studying, you start to drastically lose what you were trying to obtain. Like there's a reason why some people are like, hey, I stopped studying and then I picked the book up a week later and they're like, man, I feel like I forgot everything. That's because you did. Because think of all the things that could happen in a week. Think of all the things that could happen to you in a week, especially if you have kids and other things that may come up that are more important. So you got to think about those things. All right. So my whole thing is take a vacation after. Take a vacation after you pass that exam. That's your reward to yourself. So that's just me though. You feel confident? Hey, I'm telling you right now, my neighbor Chloe, I think my neighbor's name is actually Chloe. You my neighbor? I hope you ain't my neighbor. I'm about to come over there and bang on your door and be like, ma'am, what you doing? But I'm just going to tell you this right now, Chloe. I don't think it's a good idea that you just stop studying to take your, I don't think it's a good idea. However, you're a grown woman and you can do what you want. So I just want to take it after I graduate. I think I've prepped tons this semester. Okay, cool. Okay. Don't study then. If you don't want to study, then you don't have to study. Then don't. But you have to remember that not everybody's built like you. Right? You may be able to retain it and be okay. You may be able to only study like a year, a week or whatever. But if you get your authorization to test, and then you get your authorization to test 2 weeks after you graduate, what's another week and some change studying? Trust me, I studied to the point to where I got sick of looking at this computer, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I already know it, right? But then when you get to that point, you start getting complacent. And when you start to get complacent, people die. And that's something I learned being in the military. It's just like when you start to get complacent, thinking that everything is okay, and then shit starts popping off, that's when people die, to include yourself. So, like I said, it is your choice on what you want to do. You are a grown woman. If you don't want to study, don't study. That's all I'll say. Don't study. I shout out to everybody for follows. Are you talking for the LPN NCLEX? I'm talking about both NCLEX exams. Both NCLEX exams have changed. So here's something I want you guys to also realize is that when it comes to the RN and the LPN exam, they are both different, but they're both similar. Because with the RN, it's all about what you can do. As well as with the LPN, it's about what you can do. But you have to also know what you can't do and what you can accept from the RN. And when you need to contact the RN. That's the big difference. It's like if I'm an RN and I give you a patient and then that patient becomes unstable, do I just leave that patient with you? No. According to NCLEX, I have to reassign you to a stable patient because LPNs cannot take unstable patients. I don't care what any of you LPNs in here tell me, you 9-year LPNers, like you guys cannot take unstable patients according to NCLEX. Okay. So there it is. We're talking about both. Let's see, man. Y'all killing it. LOL, this was me and I failed. That's okay. Who is that? JST Ken? Bro, look. Let me tell you something right now. And I call everybody bro. If I offend you, I'm sorry. You can call your congressman and let him know what I said. Okay, cool. You failed. What are you going to do? That's what I tell people. I'm like, man, you failed. Damn. All right, so what you about to do? You gonna sit here and you gonna cry about it? And I always like to say we, because I always feel like that we are in this together, because I have been there. Because remember, I've taken my exam. For my first timers, I have taken my exam at least once, right? For my people I've taken it multiple times, I've taken it more than once, right? So I know exactly how both sides feel. The only thing I have not taken is the LPN exam. I did not take an LPN exam, right? I've never taken it. That's the one thing I can say. However, the LPN exam is no different from the RN exam. It's all about it's positional. That's it. That's what it's about. All right. So let's see. Please, any book suggestions for HESI PN exam? Is that JHA 20? I'm assuming. So like for the HESI, like for the exit, you should have the Saunders book. I actually thought the Saunders book was okay for the exit HESI. Whatever, yeah, because my school had HESI, and they used the Saunders book, and I thought the Saunders book worked okay, even though I hate HESI with every fiber of my being. Can't stand it. Terrible. So, I would suggest looking at the Saunders book. Nah, we good, but I'm gonna study. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, get out there and keep studying, because that's what I'm trying to tell people. This exam ain't going nowhere. You know, prepare for it. This exam ain't going anywhere. LPN should only give medications. What you mean, Queen? What you mean? Do you recommend getting a CNA license? You can get a certification as a CNA. Can't necessarily get a license, but you can get a certification. Now, Gabrielle Alexis, because that's what you have 3 A's at the end of that. Hopefully I said your name right. It depends on you, where you are in your life, and what you want to do. If you want to do the CNA route to get a stepping stone, to get exposure to the medical field, good spot. If you're young and you don't know if medicine is for you, and CNA is a good spot to start. I have a very good friend. She started out at CNA, was a CNA for a very long time, and then got her nursing license, I think in 2017 or 18. And, now she worked on the floor, and now she works in the ICU. So if that's the route that you want to go, cool. But do I recommend it? I recommend it depending on where you are in life and if that's where you want to go. So, to get an RN, we have to pass. Whoa, hold on. Who is that? Is that Copy Tap 6? Hopefully I said your name. Hey, if I butcher your name, I'm sorry. Like, y'all gotta like Webster's dictionary and put stuff in like in parentheses with the pronunciation, because I will butcher that shit. Not on purpose, but to get an RN, we have to pass LPN exam. Please. I don't know exactly what you're asking. Are you asking in order to become an RN, do you need to take the LPN exam first? That answer would be no. Is next gen easier or harder to pass? Well, Karen, let's think about that. I've taken new generation exams multiple times since they've announced them on like different platforms. So like on oh my god, what is it? What is that? On Archer, Kaplan, what's another one? UWorld. I've seen them and I've done them. To me, they are easier. But this is somebody who has 3 years of experience and who has been, working on his critical thinking, since, the day that he got to the ICU. So hindsight's 2020 for me. It's not hard for me anymore. Like, because some of those things I'm just like, okay, that's a terribly written question, because that would confuse anybody. But for the most part, like, I think it's better because of the direction that nursing is going. It's just like, it's not like, it's not just a task. Nursing is not task driven. We have to stimulate the mind. We have to create that spiderweb effect of like, if I present this patient to you, where and what direction can all those things, what direction could this patient go based off of what is given to you? Okay. So it all just depends. Some people say it's harder. Some people say it's easier. I've seen people study for it and they're like, man, this is a lot easier. But it all just depends on you. Biggest thing I'll say is to study your content, study your questions, because content is not going to be provided on your NCLEX, but the questions will. So study your content, study your questions, remediate those questions, understand during the remediation why you got it right and why you got it wrong. And then the more that you practice, the easier it becomes. And it also eases your anxiety. That's another anxiety technique that I like to say to people is to recreate the exam. If you create the exam center, then if you can recreate the exam center where you are, if you're able, the anxiety will be gone. I'll give you this example. I recreated the exam. I had my computer. I had everything here. All electronics were gone. There was nothing in this room. Y'all can't see all this mess back here, but there was nothing in this room. And when it came down to studying, I literally, at some point during my studying, I would sit like this and that just became a comforting area for me. And then when I took my exam, by the time I got to, it had to be around question like 10 or 11, I ended up doing this. And I didn't notice I was doing this until I was about at question 45, because I did this and I was just like, I sat up and I was like, okay. And so that's how I knew it. Like I didn't have any anxiety at all during that exam until I got to question 60. And then it took a long time for it to bring up the next question. I was like, man, I really hope my test didn't just die on me. And the next, it said, congratulations, you finished the exam. I'm like, what the fuck? Right. So that's where the anxiety kicked in. If you're going to have anxiety, I want it to kick in after your exam, not during your exam. Okay. So hopefully you take that little nugget and take it with you. Talking about nursing home experiences. I was wondering why they seemed what? It's fine, sir. Thanks. Okay. Yes. Okay. I was wondering why they were so different than the hospital nurses at the nursing home stay. I really wish I could tell you. I personally have never worked in a nursing home. But I can pretty much, what I'm thinking is the amenities that a hospital has that a nursing home does not have. And policies are different per nursing home as well. So there's certain things that they can do in the nursing home. Or I'm sorry, there's certain things that we do in hospitals that they can't do in nursing homes. And then like if a patient falls and ends up having like a subdural hematoma, there's nothing that you could really do there. Like you can't manage a patient that has that because they have an active bleed going on in their head. So now they got to come to the hospital, to the operating room. Then they have to go to the ICU, neuro ICU, or wherever for them to be monitored. You can't necessarily do that in a nursing home, right? Because most people that are in nursing homes are, essentially what we like to call walkie-talkies. So the experience is just very, very different in each facility. So that's why, not saying that they treat you different, but that's just why the dynamic of nursing from nursing home to hospital is very different. Can you suggest any websites with practice tests? So I actually have done this before. If you give me a second, I can pull up a couple. Hey, I'm at 2.9 likes. Hey, we need to get at least to 3,000. Never mind. Hey, y'all that's what I'm talking about. Y'all make me happy right now. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, so I'm going to pull these up. Okay. And I did say I was only going to be on here for an hour and a half. I might just go until like 8:45 because I know the family is hungry, but they about to be mad at me. If I go another, but I'm going to go just for y'all. Okay. And I'm going to pull up some stuff real quick. So y'all just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. Hey, if you guys are new here, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. I want y'all to let me know where y'all are from. Tell me where you guys are at in your nursing journey. Let me know your nursing experience. And let me know what y'all want to know. If you guys need coaching, thebootnurse.com. Go ahead and check it out. 30-minute consultation. Better get it while it's there. And I'm not playing because when it go away, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tell y'all, hey, my coaching went away. And y'all thought I was playing. Okay. So let me find it because I have a bunch of different things like that I like to suggest, like different websites, different YouTube channels, stuff like that. One website that I will recommend, it is the ncsbn.org website. That is the website and the governing body that they write the exam. They write the NCLEX exam. if you want to know anything about that exam, it is all that information is on there. That is where I got that information from, and that is where every other review site, like Registered Nurse RN, Simple Nursing, Hearst, Level Up RN, Remar, all of them. That's where they get that information from. Okay, so it's not like the information's not out there. Okay, it's not like it's a secret, because it's not. So let me see if I can find it. Man, I may not be able to find it. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. All right. So I got some of it pulled up. But real quick, I'm going to go and I'm going to look. So we'll talk about some of those websites, Scorpio. Can you please suggest how to get in LPN? Like how to get into LPN school so we don't have to take LPN exam to become RN? No. You do not need to take the LPN exam to become an RN. You can go straight to RN school if you wanted to. Right? You take LPN exam to be an LPN, to be a licensed practical nurse. There's some people I know, like my cousin, she's an LPN, and I don't think she has any desire to become an RN, at least not now. Okay? So you can go to LPN school and then be an LPN and then go to RN school if you'd like. Or you could just not go to LPN school at all and just go straight to an RN program. You have those options as well. What do you do if the professor is talking too fast in the lab? Tell him to shut the... No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Y'all just play it. If the professor's talking too fast in the lab, just simply raise your hand and be like, sir or ma'am or whatever or whoever you identify as, can you please slow down? You're going too fast. Or if you have any questions, write them down. And then if you have any questions, write them down and then ask at the end of the lecture. And you say 60 and out. So remember, I took my exam. If you guys went and watched my video, I took my exam during COVID where they got rid of the research questions. So all I had was 60 questions. That was out and I was done. So I fell and they left me on the floor. Lisa Queen, ma'am, I am sorry that they left you on the floor, because that is probably one of the worst things that a patient can ever experience. And that's another thing for, as a nurse, that my biggest fear is one of my patients falling. And I work in the operating room. So my patients are everybody's responsibility. And a fall in the operating room, no, I don't play them. I don't play them at all. I'm all about safety, and I'm all about making sure of taking care of my patients, especially in the operating room. I don't play that game. I don't play that game at all. That's unfortunate that happened to you. I am so sorry. Repeat again, please. What, who is that? C. Magdine? I don't know what you want me to repeat. Can you please repeat that? The first website that writes the test. Oh, it is the NCSBN.org website. So it's the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. That's what it stands for. So the NCSBN.org. That's the website. Florida. Beginning your ASN in May, then on to BSN. That's what I'm talking about, Scorpio. I heard that they do LPN exams, so once we passed the exam only, they allow to continue. Thanks. Okay, no problem. They did Lisa dirty. Hey, they really did do you dirty, and that's unfortunate. And if I were you, I would have probably sued the shit out of everybody there. That's just me. So real quick, a couple of good, not really necessarily a couple of good websites, but I got a couple of good YouTube channels that I could give you guys real quick. The first one, of course, is mine, The Boot Nurse. Stop playing games with me. Y'all better make sure. Hey, I'm at 3.3 likes. Hey, I want 4 likes, right? I want 4K likes right now. I want to see these hearts on this side right here going crazy. I want to see it happen. Now, make sure you guys are hitting me up on IG. You guys are following me all over those places, and we'd be good to go. Next one I will say is you got nursing.com. Nursing.com's YouTube channel. Pretty good. You got Registered Nurse RN. Hey, I want y'all to get me to 4K, and I want y'all to really, really, really give a shout out to Nurse Sarah. Because Nurse Sarah at registerednurse.com, she's fire. registerednursern.com, she is fire. If I could give her my tuition money, hey, there it is. NCSBN, N as in November. So November, Charlie, Sierra, Bravo, November. .org. Hopefully I was able to clarify a little bit. How do you get a nurse to advocate? How do I get a nurse to advocate for me when it comes to pain? How do you get a nurse to advocate for you when it comes to pain? So you tell a nurse that you have pain. And you have to like, look, I know my body. Listen, I know me, and I know my body, and and something doesn't feel right, and I'm in continuous pain. And so you have to tell like so a lot of nurses are afraid to talk to the doctors to try to advocate for y'all. But then again, you do have those people that drug seek. Yeah, they get labeled as drug seekers. That's very, very true. And then there's some people that are out there that truly do need those medications, right? So it's kind of a toss up. I've been in that position where I've had to talk to people. They were just like, hey, can I get some meds? And then you go and you look through their history, and you can see that they're drug seeking, right? So it's a very hard thing to do, and very hard thing to try to differentiate of if they really need it or if they don't. But most of the time, you can see people who really, really do need it. But it's a catch-22, unfortunately. So it's more of just asking, and it's more of just advocating for yourself. And once you advocate for yourself, most nurses are just like, okay, yeah, this person's in a lot of pain. Let's get them taken care of, so on and so forth. The biggest thing is that we don't want you to get addicted, because a lot of these drugs that are given, you don't want to be addicted to. And a lot of them, these opiates, and that's another thing too, is that us as nurses have to do our due diligence to curb the opioid epidemic, because it is a very, very, very real thing. So I really hope that answers your question. Hi, are you a nurse practitioner? Nina, I am not a nurse practitioner. Trust me, I've gone back and forth on whether or not I want to be a nurse practitioner. But nurse practitioner is not in the cards for me. So I want to be an LPN. Okay, Nina, if you want to be an LPN, go be an LPN. Hannah, hey, what's up? How are you? It's Kevin, not Kelvin. I have a friend named Kelvin. But you know what? That's close enough. That's fine. What advice do you have for a 36-year-old that would like to go back to school for nursing? Go back to school for nursing. So I'm a 35-year-old who started nursing school when he was 29, 30. I didn't get my license. I didn't get my nursing license until I was I got my nursing license in 2020, so almost 3 years ago, June of 2020. So one thing, that's the advice I would tell you, is prepare yourself. There are people in my class that were in their 30s and their 40s. There was one lady who was in her early 50s. My aunt is 53. One of my aunts, she's 53, and she just got her nursing license not too long ago. So my advice is to you, user 211-820-916-1922, that if you want to go to nursing school, go to nursing school. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Don't overtalk. Don't overtalk. That's true. If you start talking too much, they definitely will, when it comes to the drug seeking or advocating for yourself. Then, there's little things that we hear like, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for. So, okay. Who is that? Stickity Stack. Elizabeth Stack, is that you? Or am I going for my nurse practitioner? No, I'm not going. I'm 5'9" and I'm going. Oh, you're 5. I was like, you're 5'9". You're 59 and you're going. I was like, what? I was like, you 5'9". I was like, Queen, you 5'9" too? 59 and 5'9"? 59, fine, and 5'9". That's what I'm talking about. So, do it. Go back to school. I'm 46 and ready. That's what I'm talking about. School recommendations. Depends on where you live. Honestly. School recommendations. It all just depends on, was it the chosen one, 7772? It all just depends on where you live, sir or ma'am. I will say is that if you do live in Texas A&M and Corpus Christi, Texas Tech, and UT Arlington, they all have online programs. And then of course you have Western Governors University. Good. All online programs. So I would definitely check those out. For Chi-Town, I don't know. I don't know what's up in Chi-Town like that. Hey, if anybody in here knows, let us know. Yeah, UT Arlington is a really good one. You can do it. I just passed NCLEX, didn't even graduate from middle school, and barely passed high school. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a journey. Everybody. And like I said, everybody has a story to tell. So if I ever ran into one of y'all, and I'll be like, hey, tell me your story. Well, I went to nursing school, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, man, you ain't had no hardships, huh? No, that's not true. I have nothing but hardships. I was like, oh, okay, cool. There it is. So, but congratulations to Chosen One for passing. Oh, I'm sorry. Who is that that's it over here? I'm sorry. I'm over here. Have you ever treated a sepsis patient? I have treated a sepsis patient. Excuse me. I have treated a sepsis patient. Funny story is that same sepsis patient that I treated after I treated a sepsis patient, and then shortly after that I left the ICU. Everything comes full circle. I ended up taking care of that same septic patient when he was not septic, when he came to the operating room. Him, his sister, his wife, they all remembered me. And I was like, man, that name looks really familiar. She was like, I remember you. So sometimes those things come full circle. I have a condition that I have a big surgery to fix and still label. Yeah, that's unfortunate. UT Arlington is good. Community college, chosen one, most definitely. I would definitely check your community colleges too. And here's the thing too. It doesn't matter if you go for an ASN or ADN nursing program to get your RN. A 2-year RN takes the same exam that the 4-year BSN, or if you become an ASN RN, you take the same NCLEX that the 4-year BSN will take. 2 years, get you into the workforce. You could take, your BSN classes one at a time and then eventually get your BSN if that's the route that you want to go. So you need to go for public speaking. I can listen to you talk all day. Stack, I appreciate that. Hey, I've actually perfected my public. Look, so for those that don't know, I was an instructor. I've been an instructor, master instructor in the Navy for 8 years. So probably a little over 7. But I used to love getting up in front of the podium. I used to love teaching my students. So I found very, really good ways to articulate myself. And I enjoy this. Like, I thoroughly sit here and I enjoy that. I could sit on this live all night, but I can't. So there's that. Yep, that was great. I can listen to you talk all day. I appreciate you. Thanks. First attempt, 75 questions, March 30th. Hey, right at the end. Right at the end. That's what I'm talking about. Check out your likes. Hey, 5.8K. Hey, y'all doing too much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all doing too much for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm just letting y'all know, the more y'all smash those likes, the more people that I get in here. The more people that I get in here, that I'm telling you, the more people that I reach, the happier it makes me, because y'all need to know about this. Y'all need to know about this. Y'all need to know about everything that is happening in the nursing world. And I don't know everything. So if y'all know something, y'all can drop them down there. This is why I want to know where y'all are at, where y'all from, where y'all at in y'all journey, all that stuff. What floor do you work in? I work in the operating room now. I've worked in the ICU. I did that for almost a year. I worked in 3 different ICUs. I worked in a burn ICU, a medical ICU, and a neuro ICU, combination of a year. And then I worked in the PACU for a little bit, and now I work in the operating room. I've been working in the operating room for a year. So it's nice. It's nice. How long should a spacer stay? Should a spacer stay in a knee nurses? What? Queen, I'm not sure I understand. If I already have a bachelor's, does that count towards a nursing degree? So if you already have a bachelor's, it does not count towards a nursing degree. However, they do actually have master's degree programs. So let's just say you wanted to go get a master's degree in something with nursing. By already having a bachelor's degree, you can get fast-tracked through a nursing program to get into that master's degree to do the master's in certain things for nursing. I have my friend Manasa. Like I said, my friend Manasa, if you guys go see, she's on my YouTube channel, she's on Instagram, and she's the one where she's the video I posted on my on here on TikTok that says that she failed 7 times, and I helped her with coaching. She's in a master's degree program right now, and she is killing it. She graduates in May, and she was one of those people that did that. So yeah, you can try that. You could make hella money teaching nursing. That's kind of why I'm coaching. So that's why I'm coaching. That's why I'm making that's why I'm making my mini course. My mini course is going to be called The Basics. We're going to be talking about the basic thing. I have it written down on my notebook right here. We're going to be talking about time management. We're going to be talking about how to answer NCLEX style questions. We're going to talk about a support system, because that is a very important thing. This exam is not just about knowing the content and knowing the questions. It's about the overall being. It's about you. It's about you, what's going on in your life. Because if you're not able to conquer what's going on in your life, you ain't going to be thinking about this test. One girl I coached for a free session, no lie, she's Russian. Her brother got drafted into the Russian army when they invaded Ukraine. And then he ended up getting extradited. They found him. He found him. He ran away. He got extradited. And now he's here in the United States. And she was studying for an NCLEX. You think she gave a damn about the NCLEX when she was studying for it? No. She was worried about her brother. She failed it the first time. We had a conversation. She went on and she passed. Killed it. Killed it. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of those things. She didn't have a problem with content. She had a problem understanding questions. Mostly is because English was her second language. And that's understandable as well. So, like I said, I have big plans for myself. I have big plans for things that I'm creating. I have big plans of stuff that I want to provide for y'all. You know, like the mini course is just the coaching and the mini course is just the beginning. Webinars are coming up. Nurse practitioners that I'm friends with, I'm going to be bringing on here so we can talk about stuff. Like I'm telling you, I got things coming up for y'all. I got things coming. And that's something that I truly and deeply want to do because I believe that mentorship is one of the prime things of growth. If y'all go back to my video where I was saying something about like what's something that you would recommend, get a mentor. That's all I always say it. So now inadvertently, if you want me to be, I'm your mentor. And I will be here, you know, doing the live stream and stuff like that to mentor whomever wants it. Make sure y'all hit that notification button too. Y'all hit the notification button on my stuff so y'all know when I'm going live so y'all can jump up on here so I can give y'all all the tea. I hope y'all saw my video where I was talking about why I quit the ICU. We're going to talk about that at a later date because there's some stuff that that's a whole nother story. So there's that. But Stack, yes, 100%. I am tracking on what you're saying. He's a good man, Savannah. I don't know who's Savannah. Who's Savannah? I don't know what's happening. West Virginia CNA. What's SPN? What's SPN? I'm guessing you meant LPN, or you're trying to go be LPN. A spacer when they remove your knee replacement due to sepsis. Oh, I don't really mess with ortho like that. I really don't mess with. So you got septic from a knee replacement. Interesting. That should have been if you got septic, you should have went right back to the OR. If you got septic, like that's what you should have went for a washout, and obviously that implant didn't take, or all of the gear. I'm not the gear, but all the implants didn't take. Yep, most definitely should have went back for a washout. You're making me get closer to plunging and just doing my nursing degree. Like you're selling it. Hey, if I'm selling it to you, hey, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. You know, you're smelling what I'm selling. Whatever you want. The cement spacer. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I have been wanting to do it. If you want to do it, do it. With every job, it comes its headaches and it comes its prizes. Like I told you, you could be the CEO of your license. It doesn't matter if you're an LPN. It doesn't matter if you're an RN or if you're an MP. Hell, even if you're a CNA or a medical assistant, you can go out here and be a traveler. I know traveling CNAs that are out here taking crisis assignments or strikes or whatever because they're needed as well and pull in $100K. If I'm pulling in $100K as a traveling CNA, what I need to go be an RN for, even though, RNs make more money. It's there. I'm telling you, the money is there, y'all. Y'all better stop playing with me. I'm at 7,000 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I just want y'all to keep killing it. I want y'all to keep killing it right now. I hear a baby by the door, and I'm pretty sure somebody's just like, you need to hurry up. Let's see. She has a strong mentality. I'm going to be here for it. That's what I'm talking about. Stack, do you have experience in healthcare? I research a lot. I'm currently on almost all medical stuff. Compare step down to ICU. Well, at least in my step down unit there's certain things that they didn't, in my ICU, we did everything like, we if they're hemodynamically unstable, we were doing, those those pressors. So vasopressin, Levofed, all that other stuff. We have intubated patients, so they're on the vent. So total care is happening for patients that are in the ICU. They have A lines, PIC lines, central lines, all that stuff. In the step down, they can't be when it comes to airway. I think the most that they can be on is like BiPAP or CPAP machine. But the moment that they start having airway compromise or anything like that, they come straight to the ICU. So step down, they take critical patients. They take them before they become critical, if that makes sense. That's what step down does. But the moment that they start, they're like, hey, they're on a cardine drip. They won't take them because, that's a titratable drip. They won't take them. If they're on amiodarone, they won't take them. Titratable drip. They won't take them. Nitroglycerin, they won't take them because that's considered critical. So step down won't take them. So your patient has to be like off of all like pressors and like all type of drips, can't be intubated, has to be conscious in order for them to be a step down. Anything other than that, they're not going to be there. I did. Did you start out at the ICU? If so, why? I did. Brock Lesnar fan. I did start out in the ICU. I started out in the ICU because my goal was I wanted to be a CRNA. And in order for you to be a CRNA, you have to do critical care. And ICU is what they want to see. Sometimes ER, but they're kind of straying away from the ER and they're doing the critical care aspect of nursing. And ICU is something that I've always wanted to do. And when I worked in the burn ICU, that's where I got my first experience as a nurse. And it was hard. It was very, very hard. And I had two really, really great preceptors. But the things that happen to people that are burn victims are you cannot imagine. But I loved every bit of it. It got to the point after like 3 or 4 months, I was by myself. Not necessarily by myself. I had everybody there that was there with me, but I was still learning about pressors. I was still learning about the vent. That's like being a nurse, especially in the ICU. It's a very ongoing thing. Now, when I went to medical, I went to a different facility. And, they boast about doing X, Y, and Z, saying that they're going to do great. Your orientation is great and blah, blah, blah. No. I'm not even going to get into all that. Go check out why I quit the ICU. I did 4 of them. I'm probably going to do like a series of, I don't know, as many as I want to fill out to get out my frustration. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to do flight and I wanted to be a CRNA. When I got to the ICU here that I was working at, it ruined it for me. But then I realized that critical care is nice, but it's not my calling. And I realized what my calling was while I was at a rift where I was fighting with myself. Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to do this or do I like teaching? And then I realized while I was in the ICU that I loved teaching. Like, I loved teaching. Like, I'm a trauma nurse core course instructor. I was an instructor for a long time, and I teach still. And I'm just like, this is what I love to do. And so I ended up leaving the ICU, going to the operating room because I was a surgical tech. And honestly, that's probably where I was the most comfortable. But I still learned a lot because there was a lot of things I didn't do as a tech versus as a nurse. And yeah, that's just the route that I just decided to take. So don't be scared of the ICU. If that's where you want to go, please, by all means, go there. I have spent many years doing occupational health and safety. That's what my degree is in. I was nursing, then pre-med. Before that, I actually wanted to go pre-med. I actually wanted to be a doctor, but then I was just like, I don't want to do that. I was like, it's too much school. But in the end, I wanted to be an anesthesiologist. But then in the end, you do the same amount of school that an anesthesiologist would do. Like, you go do 4 years, or you do nursing school. You got to have at least 3 years of experience in order to get to CRNA school. I mean, at least a year of experience, but they pick people on average between 3 to 5 years. And then you got to do 3 years of CRNA school. Then you get out of CRNA school. Then you got to practice. I'm like, damn, it's almost like they're both just as long. So I was like, you know what? No pre-med for me. I just stick with nursing because I love nursing. There's more compassion in nursing than in doctors, in my opinion. So there's that. Go for 10K. Then you can go. Hey, if y'all get me to 10K, then I will leave. Tap it, everybody. Tap it. Hey, Lisa, let them know. Tap it. Hey, get me to 10,000 likes before I leave. I'm going to leave in the next 7 minutes because I got to go get the family food. I got to go get grandma food. If y'all keep me on here, I got to go get grandma. And then grandma going to come in here and be like, why are y'all not letting my grandson go get me food? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all can't be selfish like that. Y'all can't do it. All right. Let me answer these questions. TikTok changed it. That's what's up. Can a PICC line damage a vein? They can. Depends on what medications you put in there. And it depends on how many attempts. It's just like anywhere. If there's too many attempts, you can cause trauma to a vein, most definitely. Chosen one, you're welcome. Not true at my last job, unfortunately. We still took all those. Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about, is that bougie? Bougie. I'm just torturing that. I'm sorry. So my step down, that's how, I'm assuming you meant step down. So that's unfortunate if they did y'all like that, because let me tell you, our step down nurses would flat out be like, I'm not taking that patient, or I'll just go home. I'm like, God damn, okay, whatever. Would me being labeled by hospital cause me trouble trying to get a job as a nurse? I don't think so. I don't even do drugs. No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. And the thing about it is, honestly, I would just avoid that hospital altogether. CRNA school sounds like a nightmare. Look. Brock Lesnar, look. Okay? It is. It's a monster. It is a monster. So there's a guy. His name is Everett. He goes by the Paramurse. He and I linked up last time I did a live on Instagram. And he's in CRNA school right now. He has like 120 something days. I've been following him for a while because he was actually an inspiration to me, to where I was just like, I want to do flight. I want to be like this dude. This dude's going to CRNA school. I want to be like this dude. But it just didn't work out in the cards for me. And, because, it's okay to change your mind, people. It's okay to do that. So he was on here. He was talking. So he'll tell you it's a monster. He was on like a social media hiatus because school was so demanding. But my man's going to make it. So it definitely is a nightmare. It's definitely a toughie. I can tell you that for sure. Vancomycin. Lisa, what about vancomycin? Oh, vancomycin is so horrible. Oh, yeah. What is it? The red man effect. Red man syndrome. Yep. You sure can. And you want to know the reason why you got red man syndrome is because the vancomycin was being pushed too fast. So it's very, very simple to stop that. Slow it down. And whoever that was pushing vancomycin and they didn't slow it down, terrible. What is a great resource for the new generation NCLEX? The National Council of State Boards of Nursing website. So the ncsbn.org website. So that goes November, Charlie, Sierra, Bravo, November.org. Oscar, Romeo, Golf. That is the resource. That is the resource. I think she asked if it damages your... Yes, it can. Most definitely. It can. More importantly, if it damages... More importantly, giving you too much vancomycin can damage your kidneys. Right? It can give you what we call ringing in your ears, or ototoxicity, right? It can do all kinds of stuff to you. So, yeah, the thing about vancomycin that you can't push it fast. You have to push it at a steady rate, because start getting ringing in your ear, start having like kidney problems and stuff like that. So red man syndrome is the effect that you get from vancomycin being pushed too fast, Queen. That's what that is. That's what that is. And it's simple, just turning it down. Because go look up the side effects of vancomycin. As a matter of fact, for all of my nursing students that are in here, when you guys are learning about pharmacology and antibiotics, that sounds like, and I don't do this often, but you may or may not see that somewhere again. You may or may not see that somewhere again. Okay. Somebody is messaging me about something. All right, cool. So, hey, we almost there. Hey, we're at 8.6K. Hey, y'all got 3 minutes. Y'all got 3 minutes to get me to 10K. Hey, regardless, I got to get off, y'all. Regardless, I got to get off because I got to go get the fam some food, okay? But I appreciate everybody jumping up in here. Of course, if you guys are new, if you guys don't know who I am, Kevin, I'm a nurse, NCLEX coach. We're talking about new generation NCLEX and just nursing stuff, and then, kind of what to expect and just the direction that nursing is going. If you or anybody else is studying for the NCLEX, I don't care if you're a first timer, you've taken it multiple times, or if you're a nursing student that is trying to get a jump on the game, you can check out thebootnurse.com. I do coaching, 30-minute free consultation for anybody that wants it. And then, we talk about the packages and all that other good stuff so far. So, all that good jazz. So, and I'm working on a mini course. Also, this is something that I said before, but I'm going to actually I'm going to do webinars. So it won't be on TikTok, but they'll be, Start sending people emails saying like, hey, we'll do webinars and all that good stuff. And we'll go over, lessons. Like we'll talk about like delegation on NCLEX, blood and blood components, pharmacology, legal stuff, crutches, canes, and walkers, arterial blood gases, like, all the stuff that you guys want to do. Do you take Medicaid? Do I take Medicaid? I don't actually. I don't take Medicaid. EBT doesn't work. WIC also does not work, although I might take WIC because I do like the fact that I could just, get eggs. I do like the fact that I could just get eggs. So I'm at 10K already. It says 9.8. Oh, I guess I'm on my side. It ain't catching up. Food stamps. Hey, you can give me EBT. Hey, look, I'll go get me some eggs. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know what it is. You know what I did. So, but, hey, look at that. 10.1 thousand likes. Hey, I just want to let y'all know that is the most likes that I've gotten on TikTok. That is the most likes that I've gotten on TikTok. What about a refresher course for LPN? What do you mean, Carol? What do you mean? Like, what exactly about LPN that you want to know? Like, we can talk about fundamentals. We can talk about med-surg. We could talk about med-surg 2. We could talk about pharmacology. We could talk about psych. We could talk about all that stuff. So I'm going to start dropping polls. I'm going to start doing webinars. Like, look, let me tell you. I know I do got to go, but let me tell you, I'm going to be bringing a lot. Okay. My goal is to do another webinar on Wednesday. Make sure you guys are following me on TikTok and make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. I do all of my talking on Instagram. Okay. So make sure you guys are following me over there. I drop stuff in my stories. If you guys message me, I'll message you back. I'm not one of those people that won't message you. I ain't big. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll be like, hey, I ain't talking to that person. Okay. So, but anyways, I appreciate y'all. I love each and every one of y'all for coming here and showing up and asking me all the questions. I really hope it's helpful. All I want to do is be helpful and just be that catalyst to kind of just move nursing forward and get you to where you want to be, which is being an RN or being an LPN. Okay. I finished LPN class, but having a hard time passing the state board. All right, cool. Just like I told everybody else, Carol, check out thebootnurse.com. And then, we can get it moving. You're welcome. Not a problem, Brock Lesnar fan. I too am a Brock Lesnar fan. I'm more of a Dwayne The Rock Johnson fan, but everyone loves The Rock, as they should. I'm glad you found me too, Stack. I'm glad you found me. So I hope everybody has a good and wonderful rest of their Monday evening. And I will see you guys hopefully Wednesday. If not Wednesday, definitely Friday. All right. See you guys later. You're welcome. Bye-bye.